Welcome to another edition of Islanders Insider. I'm Stephen King. We come to you from the locker room once again today. We'll talk some Islanders men's basketball with head coach Willis Wilson, as well as women's basketball with head coach Royce Chadwick. We'll also take a quick look on what's upcoming for Islanders baseball. That's all today. Let's talk some Islanders men's basketball, though, with the head coach, Coach Willis Wilson. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Well, a bit of an up and down week, no doubt. One win, one loss, unfortunately. Now, what is it now, 6-2?
Well, it could be fortunately.
Oh, it could be fortunately? I like
That's
that. That's interesting. This is true to the way you look at it. Now, as I mentioned, a bit of an up and down week, but the win against Southeastern, the loss to New Orleans, it was a challenging week. That game against Southeastern in particular, are those kind of gratifying wins for you? Like when your team has to dig deep and find a way and make plays down the stretch, more than maybe just a blowout win?
I don't think there's any question. You have to learn how to win in a lot of ways. You have to be able to win from out in front, get a lead and keep a lead, maintain it throughout the course of the game. You have to learn how to come from behind. I mean, basketball is very spontaneous. It's going to offer you a lot of different scenarios, and we've practiced and worked on a lot of those scenarios, and we were really fortunate to be able to dig down deep, as you mentioned, and pull that game out. And so I don't think there's any question that it's gratifying. I do feel like with as young as our team is and finding ourselves in so many different situations, it had a little bit of an impact on us on Saturday. You go from the confines of the Dugan Wellness Center with a terrific crowd to the vastness of the American Bank Center, and we just didn't quite have our legs. It was pretty indicative of the way we shot the ball in the first half, and then obviously down the stretch in that the second half, just not being able to make free throws was really disappointing.
And you mentioned a moment ago being in the Dugan Wellness Center. We already know that it's kind of a shooter's gym as it is, but just being in the center that night, coming back into the new semester, all the students back on campus, that was probably one of the best atmospheres we've had here in a long time.
It was fun. It was really fun. It was exciting. It was loud. It's the kind of atmosphere that you want to see in college basketball. I give Southeastern a lot of credit. They played a terrific basketball game. It was as well played game by both teams on both sides. I thought they did a great job of executing their offense, as did we. I thought the defensive side was very good for both teams. And the truth of the matter is, I think the second half was really indicative of what happens when you play good teams. Defense kind of takes over, and you're forced to have to make shots. The shooting percentages by both teams tapered off considerably in that second half. But I thought our guys did a good job with doing the things that we had to do to win, and did a really good job of limiting some of the things that they were trying to do in areas where they had success in that first half.
A lot of playmaking needed to be done, and one guy stepping up for you did a lot of that and really got the crowd going. Jake Coher off the bench for you, and that bench unit that comes in gives you some energy. He in particular made some big threes, but some of his acrobatics as well off defensive pressures, turning them into transition chances. It was pretty electrifying.
Well, that's what you have to have if you're a good team. You have to have guys that are capable of making plays. When you go down the list of guys on our roster, you get Zane Knowles on the inside, and his ability to rebound the ball and score down low. He's a playmaker. John Jordan is a playmaker. I thought Joy Williamson had as good an effort as anybody on the floor that night. 11 rebounds. When you're 6'4" and you're chasing down rebounds and challenging big guys the way he did, some of his drives to the rim. But Jake was really a real highlight of sorts. He just did so many things for us, but defensively in particular, I think he takes a lot of pride in his toughness and his ability to get after guys. And he wanted to be in tough situations on the defensive side, and that's what you have to have. That's kind of a hallmark that you got a chance to be a pretty good team when you have guys that want to be out on the floor in key defensive situations.
In the loss, though, against New Orleans, we just had trouble getting the finishes, as you alluded to earlier. And give a lot of credit to New Orleans. They contested everything. They had 11 blocks on the night. Did that shake us up? Do you think that rattled us a little bit?
You know, I just felt like we were really impatient. We didn't play our style of basketball. I counted 6 opportunities in the first half where we shot the ball on one pass. That's just not the way we play. We're an inside-outside team. We really need to stretch the defense and get the ball side to side and try to get some touches on the inside, whether it's John Jordan through penetration or tossing that thing inside to the big guys. We just never really found our rhythm, and so our shots were a little bit untimely. We've been pretty good on the offensive glass this year, And when the shots are coming early in possessions, guys don't really see those shots coming, so they're not really in rebound position. We haven't taken the defense out of rebound position and scoring position for that, or defending position for that matter, to get scoring opportunities. And so I just thought we played a little bit rushed. I thought we did a little bit better job in the second half, but that sort of anxiousness to get in basketball, a lot of times you talk about trying to get a 4-point play. In baseball, you hear guys all the time talk about swinging for the fences. I just thought we were a little bit impatient, trying to get a little bit too much too quickly.
I understand that. Now, you mentioned free throws earlier, and I'll just bring it up for a moment. Are free throws just focus and confidence? Is that all it really is? Because, they were troublesome. 11 misses and then 17 against Privateers.
It's something that you have to work at. Yeah. It's something that you have to work to improve. You have to put yourself in game-like situations, and you have to have probably more than anything in all of basketball. Free throws is something that's very different in practice than it is in a game situation, and you have to figure out a way to emulate game situations as you work on your free throws. A lot of it is repetition and quantity. But more often than not, you find it being a pressure situation where you've got to be able to step up and make free throws, and that tends to be a quality sort of situation, quality sort of environment. Young teams tend to not shoot free throws well. We should be a much better free throw shooting team than we are, and the fact of the matter is we need our leader, John Jordan, to step up. Interestingly enough about John, he's had 2 or 3 different occasions this year where he's gone on a tear where he's made 20 in a row, 20 out of 21. So he's very, very capable of shooting the ball from the free throw line at a very high level. And so we've got to get him back in that sort of routine for us.
2 games this week, Sam Houston State and Lamar. Just focus on Sam Houston State for the moment. Huge game for the reason, of course, we're tied with them, currently in second position in the Southland Conference, and it's our only meeting with them this year. And with a win, of course, we get the tiebreaker.
Well, you touched on it. I mean, right now you're talking about seeding for the conference tournament, which is a big, big deal once you get into March. We've had dogfights. The last 3 or 4 games with Sam Houston State have been games that have gone down to the wire where either team could win. Unfortunately for us, a year ago they were able to eke out 2 wins against us. But we know that they're going to be scrappy. We know we're going to be scrappy, and that this game will be a dogfight. I think it'll be decided by the team that makes free throws, the team that makes the fewest mistakes with turnovers. And so we're going to have to really, really hone in. And I think our guys are very aware of the circumstances going in. And this is the beginning of a tough 4-game road stretch. And so the good news is that we've got 5 out of 6 at home to close out conference play. But the bad news is we start the second half with a lot of games on the road, and so we've got to really tighten our belt and get that focus where it needs to be.
Well, big week ahead, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you.
Willis Wilson joining us here once again in the locker room. When we come back, we have a feature showing you what's next for Islanders baseball. More to come on Islanders Insider.
What's Massage Envy Spa? For me, it's healthy, it's affordable. I mean, he always wants
pain relief.
Right. And I want a healthier complexion. And now we can get a customized massage or a healthy skin facial.
At a really good price.
At a great price. And nothing feels better than that.
Customized massages and healthy skin facials, all at the perfect price. Start a healthy routine today with Massage Envy Spa.
Go, you'll see.
Welcome back to Islanders Insider. At this time, let's check in with Dixie Lee as she gives us a feature on what's coming up for Islanders baseball.
Islanders baseball hit the ground running in their first practices of the season this week.
Yeah, it's good. You know, I think the first 3 or 4 days you get on the field as a coach, in a way, you just try and stay out of the way. You know, these guys are energy's bursting. Guys, everybody's early, you know. Somebody just, one of the coaches got here and wanted to know, hey, everybody here ready to go? Yeah, they've been here ready to go for a half hour, you know. So the first few days are great. Guys are bouncing around, and, you know, you try and do your best in practice to simulate game action, you know, and you want to make practice hard. You want to push them. You want it to be physically tough. You want to mentally challenge them, and so that when we build up and start getting closer to games, game day's easier. You know, that's what you try and do as a coach.
It feels good. Everybody's amped up. We're getting about to play the first game, so it's fun to see everybody get back to school from Christmas break and see everybody hungry to win this championship this year.
You know, I want to make sure these guys are positive, confident, feel good about themselves, feel good about their skills. You know, and I think that's half the battle every day when practice is over and we go inside. I want these guys to feel good. I want them to feel like, hey, we might be the most talented team in the league, you know. So you want to put them in positions to go out and have success. And at the same time, like I said, you want to challenge them every day and push them.
The Islanders are not only preparing for the season's upcoming challenges, but are working to find their stride as a fairly new team.
We know we got a lot of returners. Like you said, we got 22 newcomers, so everybody's kind of finding their own spot in here and how they can help the team. And I think a lot of the older guys really accepted us new guys, and we blended together really easy, and it's pretty comfortable for everybody. And they're making their change from junior college here, high school here, what it was. So I think that we got good camaraderie right now and good team chemistry. And
I think everybody's great together. I think it's one of the best teams we've had. Ability and just our friendship with each other, always hanging out, know each other like the back of our hand pretty much.
As opening day quickly approaches, the Islanders are looking ahead with high hopes.
Well, like you said, the expectations, every year expectations have gotten bigger. Well, we were picked to win second in the Southland, and I know everybody else wants to be in that first, so we just have to come out here and get ready to grind, play as a team, and just hustle everywhere we go. When we start playing, it's just like practice and play as you practice.
Well, you know, when we get together here in about 5 minutes, I think one of the things I'm going to talk about is trying to remain the hunter, reminding these guys that, just because a magazine picks you second, and as proud as I am of what we've done the last 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, the growth of the program, we haven't done anything yet, and I want to make sure from the seniors to the juniors to the freshmen that everybody out here is extremely hungry to continue to grow this program, to make a difference, to win that first championship. That's what we're trying to do.
For Islanders Insider, I'm Dixie Lee.
For the remainder of the 2013-2014 season, Islanders basketball is offering a new Friends and Family 4-pack promotion for Saturday games on Stripes Court at the American Bank Center. For just $44, fans get 4 sodas, 4 hot dogs, and 4 tickets to an Islanders men's and women's basketball doubleheader. This is the perfect opportunity to show your support for your hometown team in their pursuit of conference titles. That's 4 tickets to an Islanders basketball doubleheader, 4 hot dogs, and 4 sodas for only $44. Visit GoIslanders.com or call 825-BALL to purchase your Friends and Family 4-pack today. That's 825-BALL. Go Islanders!
Welcome back to Islanders Insider. It's time to talk some Islanders women's basketball with the head coach of the program, Coach Royce Chadwick. Coach, how are you?
I'm good, Stephen.
Well, just what the doctor ordered. A couple wins this past week for the Islander women. Here's the astounding part. Your team won those 2 contests by an average of 41 points. All of a sudden, we have just offense that we just, in an overabundance. In those 2 games, your team broke the records for largest scoring margin and then rebroke it in the second game against New Orleans. Just what kind of week was this?
Well, it was an opportunity for us to move all our freshmen into the starting lineup. We have tried to bring them along slowly, and we thought, okay, now's the time to put them in there and let's see what they can do. We've been starting Brittany Bomaloo all year long, and now we brought Cassie Jones along, and now we got Kamisha Davis, and I think Kamisha had a double-double in the last game, so she's come into her own. Sometimes when you get a freshman and you throw them in too quickly, they can lose their confidence, and that was what our concern was. We didn't want them to lose their confidence. We wanted to build up a little bit of confidence in them, then put them out there, and we thought this week would be a good week to do it, and they responded exceptionally well. So we're very excited about where we sit, and hopefully we'll be able to show some consistency, which is always a big question mark when you have freshmen.
Against Southeastern Louisiana, it seemed your team seemed to, hit their stride. Besides just scoring more points, what did they do that was so different than the 4 games previous?
Well, we backed up a lot of the game plan. We basically gave them 2 plays that we were going to run, and we played 1 defense. And primarily we put them in a situation, we actually told them we will not call timeout for the first media. If you get a lot of blood on your face, wipe it off quickly, because we're not subbing you. You have to go out there and you have to play that first 4 minutes, and you got to be ready. And we did that for the simple fact that we didn't want them looking over their shoulder thinking, well, you know, I could come out, I wonder what we're going to run. We tried to take everything off of their plate so they could just go play. And I thought they responded very, very well to that. And we got to the 16-minute mark of both games and we were ahead. So we pretty much gave them the next 4 minutes and said, all right, these are the things that we are doing, and we're not changing. Let's go do these things. And I was very happy with the way we responded. I thought that we kept our toughness, we kept our consistency. We played the entire 40 minutes in exactly the same frame. And then our challenge for our seniors when they came off the bench, and that's a real test for a senior. Can you move from a starting position to coming off the bench and still keep your team disposition? Can you help our team and elevate our team? And every one of our seniors did that for us.
It's interesting, as you know, when we move forward against the New Orleans in the second game of the week, I found the most interesting statistic. There were 5 players who scored in double figures, but none of them were Jasmine Shaw or Brittany Bomalou. And, of course, they've been our leading scorers throughout the season. Now, Kamisha Davis, as you mentioned, 19 points, 11 boards, were career highs both, her first double-double. Well, just how much better is the team when you have that type of multiple scoring source?
Well, I think your team, in a locker room after the New Orleans game, everybody played double-digit minutes. Everybody thought they made a contribution. It's a great locker room. And you'd like to have that every single night. Unfortunately, it won't be that situation for us because we spent a lot of time in the first 8 or 9 games in the league playing the top 5 or 6 teams. Now we are moving into playing the teams that are in the bottom 5 or 6. So you have a better opportunity to get more people in the game, but that's ideal. It doesn't work out that way very often where everybody gets double-digit minutes. But, you know, we played some starters. I think Lexi Harris had like 12 or 15 minutes. Jasmine Shaw, 12 or 15 minutes is all they played in the New Orleans game. And half of that is we've been UNO. I mean, last year we were in UNO's situation, and people could run rule us very easily. And we had people that played their starters the whole game and actually run ruled us. So we were going into that game with the thought that we're not going to do that. Everybody is going to play. Everybody's going to make a contribution, and they did. So we were happy with our team.
Well, you mentioned your seniors coming off the bench, in particular Brandy Huff. She had a big week coming off the bench, averaging 16 points per game, while freshman Cassie Jones, which you also mentioned, averaged 14 points per game, shooting 70% from the field, and it was only her 3rd and 4th starts of the season. Everybody seems to be comfortable in settling into these roles. Am I seeing that correctly?
Well, if we can play the level of competition we're playing right now, yes, everybody will be happy. Unfortunately, going on the road to Sam and going to Lamar, competition is going to increase. Minutes will have to be readjusted. I doubt that we go to Sam Houston and Lexi Harris plays less than 30 minutes. You know, we got to get more contribution from our mainstays, and you know, because they have a great post player, and she's going to educate some of our freshmen if we're not careful. So we'll have to adjust as we go, but tough road trip coming up, and hopefully our players will be able to adjust.
Well, not to sound too cliche here, but is every game from this point a must-win situation?
You know, the must-wins come in March. We got to get to Katy, and then they become must-wins. Right now, we need to play well. We need to keep building on this. We got 3 freshmen that are starting, and I think you can see the talent is there. The consistency has not been there. The fearless disposition is there. They are doing the things that we want them to do. They've turned the corner from being high school players to being college players now. Now they got to start becoming the type of players that can overcome adversity. They're the ones that we're going to put you out there and put you in place, and it's your opportunity now to show what you're capable of. And boy, the sky's the limit for the future for these girls, and hopefully they'll continue to improve. And you had a lot of basketball left. You know, if you'd have told me 1 year ago, now next year, coach, your team's going to have 10 wins, I would have said, boy, those freshmen must be going to turn the corner quickly. And we have 10 wins, and that's great. We got 10 games to go. So we have opportunities to really do something with our young kids.
No doubt. Now, as you mentioned, Sam Houston State, Lamar are up next for you. The Bearcats do have the top rebounder in the conference, which you were talking about, Rivley. Is it important for you to prepare for a player like this or a team like this and really focus on them, or is your practice more about just what we do? Just keep working on what we do and kind of we'll not concern ourselves as heavily with them, but as long as we take care of what we do, we should be all right.
Well, we do a little bit of both. You know, I think every day in our practice we go over what we do, but we also want to look at tendencies. And honestly, you can give a freshman too much information. You can give a player that doesn't have a lot of experience too many things to think about. And so, you know, the scouting report we gave our players in November was about 4 pages thick. The scouting report we're giving these freshmen now is 1 page. And we're giving them 1 or 2 things for them to really focus on, and they've done really well. Hopefully by March we can give them 3, and they'll really be able to focus on those things. But a lot of our seniors will give them a little extra stuff and tell them now, you know, this girl really likes an up and under move, and our freshmen are like, okay, what is that? You know, so we try to not overload them, but we try to do a little bit of both and make sure they know the tendencies of who we're about to face.
We had a great week. Looking forward to 2 more, taking it back on the road. Coach, good luck to you.
Thank you.
When we come back, we'll bring you up to speed on what's next for Islanders Athletics. Stay with us. More Islander Insider in a moment.
It's the countdown to Katy. Southland Conference basketball teams are fighting for a chance to play in the Merrill Center. A league title and a bid to the big dance will be on the line. The action begins March 12th. Visit southland.org/Katy or Ticketmaster.com and start your countdown to Katy.
Welcome back to Islanders Insider. At this time, let's take a look at what's up next for Islanders Athletics. Doubleheaders continue for Islanders basketball, but the teams will do so on the road. Thursday, January 30th, the teams will head to Sam Houston State with the doubleheader getting underway at 5:30. On Saturday, February 1st, teams travel to Beaumont to face Lamar University with that doubleheader beginning at 4. On Thursday, February 6th, they'll head to the University of Incarnate Word in San Antonio, doubleheader starting at 5:30. And then on Saturday, February 8th, they'll travel to Abilene to face Abilene Christian with that doubleheader beginning at 1 o'clock. The tennis teams have their seasons rolling, with the women traveling to the University of Houston on Sunday, February 2nd for a 1 o'clock start time. Then on Tuesday, February 4th, the men and women will travel to Prairie View A&M for a 2 o'clock start. And on Thursday, February 6th, the women will continue on the road as they travel to UTSA. That start time, 2 o'clock. Indoor track continues its season on January 31st and February 1st at the Howie Ryan Invitational in Houston. That is an all-day event. And finally, softball season has its first pitch in San Marcos at the CenturyLink Classic, where they'll play 6 games in 3 days, starting Friday, February 7th at Texas State, that time 2:30. As always, for all the latest on Islanders Athletics, you can keep track of all Islanders Athletic schedules at GoIslanders.com or all Islanders social media. We want to thank once again Royce Chadwick, head coach of Islanders women's basketball, and Willis Wilson, the head coach of Islanders men's basketball, for joining us again here in the locker room today. And of course, we thank you for joining us here as well. I'm Stephen King. You've been watching Islanders Insider.